Good evening, everyone. Welcome to this regularly scheduled Township Board of Supervisors meeting. Our first item will be a pledge to the flag. Please join me. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. We have had no executive sessions since our last meeting, so at this point I'd like to open up the floor to any communication from citizens. So if there's anyone who would like to address the board, and if there's anyone on Zoom who would like to do so, please click the raise hand button to be recognized. All right, seeing none. On to engineering reports. Diana.
Nothing to add or change on the report, so if there are any questions, I'll answer.
Questions? Things going well?
Thank you.
Civil engineering report, John.
I don't have anything to add. Tonight's on the agenda is advertisement for our Army grants. We've been delayed because of trying to get right away and sent the manager note the other day. They're real close to they're going to get it for us, so we're getting ready to put those documents out the bid. We have our HOP. The signal plan has been approved, so part of it's the Arley, the other part is, as we did Davies Drive, there were signal plan upgrades that we had talked about. I don't have any add my.
So I have one question on the consent agenda. There's like consolidating three different letters of pledge of collateral into one lump sum to take care of some things. So that's the way that is. We're not giving that money back. We're telling them exactly what it's allocated.
Correct, and we can talk about it at that point, but I'll just clarify for the board's knowledge. That plan started in '92 before I was. I think it was '92. 92. The plan was submitted, so it was before my involvement with the township, and maybe I don't know what the story, but maybe you were here. You were here, didn't I? You must have been like 15 or 12. Anyway, so over time it was created into phases, and as you know, we adopted a few of the roadways that are intended. We adopted the park area, the stormwater basin, and a few of the roads, and maintenance bond for 15% of that value, and there's some unfinished sidewalk and some other things that are out there. So Randall got called probably a month ago, trying to consolidate. There was a whole bunch of bonding work. I'll give you an example. One of the bonds was to, in '92, whoever was on the board at that time, they wanted to make sure that there were funds available in case they damaged the township sewer line. So they were holding a bond for a very long period of time, for like, I think it was like 17 grand over that period of time. And discussions with our former public works director, he said that work was completed, never heard of anything needed to be drawn on that, but they continue to renew that bond for decades. So we're at the point where we want to consolidate them all into one. Our security blanket is for some of the pavement maintenance that they put in. Of course, that pavement is more valuable today than it was in '92. And so they want to sort of roll them into one. I think there's somebody here from the developer side to talk a little bit about that when you get that agenda.
It's on the consent agenda next, which is why I wanted to. And we might want to pull that aside and discuss it separately. So with that, I'll move on to consent agenda items A through K. I think we'll pull Kay aside to have a perfect discussion. Is there anything else that anyone would like to remove from this list for discussion?
I'll move to approve the consent agenda items B through J.
Second.
Motion and a second, all in favor?
Aye.
All right, item K.
Hi there, good
Hi.
evening. Janie Kaufman from Barley Snyder. I'm here on behalf of the developer tonight. I don't have a ton to add to what Mr. Luciani already said. So yes, there were two letters of credit and a pledged collateral against the developer's bank account. There was a letter of credit in the sum of around 17,000, Luciani said, for sanitary sewer dedication. That should have been released a number of years ago. There was a second letter of credit that neither the developer nor the township has a record of. Nobody has a copy of it. We're in record. So we're asking that that would be released. And then the pledged collateral, like I mentioned, was against a bank account that the developer had in the amount of $35,000 with M&T. That's grown to about 38,000 and some change. We're asking that those three be released, and in consideration of doing that, we will have a bond left with the township in the amount of 76,000. I think I.
I think that's about the right
Yeah.
number, yeah.
Okay.
So I define bond work as hostage negotiation. When we get this, we'll give you that. Oh. Because if we give them out and somebody forgets to write the bond or something goes wrong with the road, we don't need backup. So I assume you're in agreement with all that. Right? I mean,
Yes, correct. Yeah. Yeah, we're just hoping to have something in writing from the township that confirms the release of those.
If I may, Mr. Chairman, just to give.
We're gonna meet someplace and have an exchange.
I had numerous conversations with the controller of Pat and Shelley. We're trying to get to a resolution of trying to figure out something that's 31 years old. And so ultimately we have missing pieces of the puzzle, which has created some obstacles, if you will, to getting us to this point tonight. I've also talked to the woman here tonight with Barley Snyder this afternoon, as well as Stacy McNeil, to try to coalesce what has transpired over this time frame. And so I just wanted to make you aware that I've been diligent in trying to figure this myriad out of pieces of financial documentation. And unfortunately, there are missing pieces. And hopefully some of this release, if you will, of these letters of credit, as well as the other amount, cleans some of that up so we can get to the point of here's what's remaining. We do have a bond in place that's for over almost $680,000. So we do have a bond in place. So there is a security there, if you will. So making you aware that, not to say that there wasn't something left that we do have, and this has been in place since 2002. I kind of wanted to give you a little bit of some chronology because I did have some.
And I'm sorry, I didn't catch your last name.
It's Catherine, KATHERN.
And just one other final point, I did have consultation with our solicitor as well, Mr. Roush. He's well aware of where we are in this situation. And obviously the township matter. This was a joint process. If you will.
Mr. Chairman, I move for the consent adoption of item K as outlined in the FCB letter regarding the Pleasant Trees.
Second.
Motion and a second, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Great,
Thank you.
thanks so much. Appreciate it.
Okay, next we have This is authorization to. Yeah, authorization to accept and execute 2022 York County Open Space and Land Preservation Grant.
Mr. Chairman, we submitted this grant in 2022 through the York County, and this will go towards the development of the camp security master plan.
Mr. Chairman, I moved for the authorization to accept and execute the 2022 York County Open Space and Land Preservation Program grant in the amount of $25,000 for camp security master site plan project.
Second. Motion and a second, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Next, we have authorization to bid traffic signal improvement projects. So we have
Mr. Chairman, I move for authorization to bid the traffic signal improvement projects as identified as East Market Street, Davies Drive, Cinema Drive intersection, Ames Road, Eastern Boulevard, and Memory Lane Industrial.
Second.
motion and a second, all in favor?
Aye.
Any communication from supervisors? Solicitors report. No report. Charlie left you high and dry. All right, Mark, managers report.
The only thing that I'll add to my written report is today, a group of us, and us being myself, Chief King, Chief Hoff, Denny Crayville, and John Luciani met to start discussing what we can potentially do in the neighborhood of Whiteford Road, 11th Avenue, 10th Avenue, what we can do to help those folks with cut through traffic once PennDOT starts the bridge replacement projects, Evers Lane Bridge over 83, North Sherman Street. And I'll just give an update on that. So there's more to come on that part of it.
Let's ask ChatGPT. Probably has the solution.
I probably don't know how to do it. I think I reported quite some time ago that PennDOT's original plan was to take both bridges out at the same time. That is not going to happen. So they're going to take Eberts Lane Bridge out first because it has concrete beams and more readily available. Sherman Street Bridge uses steel beams and with much longer lead times. So they're going to do Eaton Road or Eberts Lane Bridge first. The contractor has not submitted a schedule yet, but the educated guess is that that bridge work is going to start sometime in June of this year. And if I understand correctly, would be out of commission for about a year. I didn't get, again, contractor didn't submit a schedule yet, so PennDOT's engineers just assuming it's, and that would follow, whenever that's done, it'll follow up with church. So there's more to come on. I think we have a good plan, what we came up with today. But John's gonna draft a map, and I think we'll send a letter, the township will send a letter to all the residents in that area, and the businesses, and see if we can meet with them and propose what we think is gonna help them and get their feedback. That's all I have.
Anybody else? It also covers item A under old business. Any update on American Rescue Plan?
I will hopefully for our first meeting in April have, if as part of my report, ideas of where we can spend the funds. And just to elaborate on that a little bit, since we're on it. Initially, I thought the lion's share of those funds could go towards our MS4 project and potentially still can go for the next MS4 project at the stream on the east side of the wastewater treatment plant. And that project would solve several issues, plus give us our MS4 credits. I heard, and this isn't official yet, but DEP may be changing the goalpost on MS4.
Oh, surprise,
So
surprise.
if they do change the goalpost, meaning the goalpost that could be changed is they're not going to look at TSS for sediment reduction anymore. They could be looking at volume reductions. If that turns out to be true, then maybe we don't want to do anything with that stream, or at least the entire stream. There's other areas of that stream that need attention through the wastewater treatment plant and further upstream where it's threatening our roadway. But so there's more to come. But when I get that list to you, it's going to be everything that I've thought of.
I see strategic plan made it on here. Is there anything you wanted to talk about with this at this point?
Yeah, someone from the board, or maybe I was mistaken, asked if I could put that on.
Yes, I did ask, and I think it's a good opportunity for us to highlight not only some of the things that we achieved, but also some things all of us board members the opportunity to ask you some questions where we might stand on some other objectives. To illustrate how I envision using this tool, I call everyone's attention to objective 3, the core focus on parks and rec. Under objective 1, obviously tonight we have approved the grant funding for the master plan for camp security parks. So there's a win. And then under objective 2, which is wanted to revisit, I know that this board has worked and achieved. Not only did we get grant money, but we also did provide the revitalization of Augustus Shaper Park. I just wanted to look at objective 2 and see where we are with identifying needs at the other community parks. I know we've talked about that in the past, and just wanted to give an update.
I don't have anything as far as what we've identified as what parks should be prioritized, but the parks left that are some of our aging parks would be Rockburn Park, which is in the old East York neighborhood. Fayfield Park, if you recall, that's going to get a total redo as things are pending. Kingston Park, which is a very popular park, that hasn't had much done to it in quite some time. Penn Oaks Park has, if I was going to chronological those 3 parks, that would probably be on the bottom because it has had some improvements. It has more recent than the other 2. Rockburn and Rockburn Park should probably be next. We just quit thinking about it. But it is a small one.
Thank you.
Another one to throw in there would be Spring at Soaks Park, which is at the very eastern end of Pleasant Valley Road before the bridge that's not there. We have that new acreage. Do we do anything with that new acreage that's wooded that was donated to us? And so
Careful, you want to fill up the room fast.
I was gonna say, you might not want to mention the bridge.
I just said the bridge that's not there.
And never.
Well, there is a bridge there. Anything else anybody wants to talk about? Meeting adjourned. Thank you, everyone.